They say success is the best revenge. Heard they were sleeping again, say it no more.
Feeling like you won't make it, feel like you went the wrong road. Lord, I'm lost, can you save me? Cause my heart's been breaking. You're the Alpha and Omega, Lord. You will never let me down. Hey, before I'm buried underground, save me. I'll let it all go now. Got no time to waste, gotta seek your face. Gotta finish the race before it all falls down. I knew that I had to get close, no bearing the weight that I had on my shoulders. Gotta stay focused on them, cause I know what I do when I'm in my emotions. I can never change myself, I can never save myself. All the sin, I begin to hate myself, but God said He gave Himself. I was blind, but it's like I got a new lens. Was an enemy, now He calls me friend. I was an enemy, but He befriended me, and He delivered me. All of you feeling weak, come to the risen King. You've been lost, you can't take it. You don't know where to go now. Feeling like you won't make it, feel like you went the wrong road. Lord, I'm lost, can you save me? Cause my heart's been breaking. You're the Alpha and Omega, Lord. You will never let me down. Hey, before I'm buried underground, save me. I'm letting it all go now. Got no time to waste, gotta seek your face. Gotta finish the race before it all falls down.
If you've been in the valley, you know what I mean when I say that it's hard to get out of it. You've been stuck in your head, thoughts have been racing, telling you that you're inadequate. That's a lie, remember the promise, get back in His presence. Silence and noise. When you cry to the Father, He hears you. If you look and just follow His voice, I know it's never been an easy road. I've been there too, so I can understand it. And when you feel like you don't have control, you're not supposed to. Remember, He planned it. There's a reason for everything. If it works for good, you don't see it now. Wait till you get to the other side and look back. It's all how it all worked out. Listen,
you've been lost, you can't take
Come on.
it. You don't know where to go now. Feeling like you won't make it, feel like you went the wrong road. Lord, I'm lost, can you save me? Cause my heart's been breaking. You're the Alpha and Omega, Lord. You will never let me down. You will never let me down. Before I'm buried underground, save me. I'm letting it all go now. Got no time to waste, gotta seek your face. Gotta finish the race before it all falls down. 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 Before it all.
In the lives of every creature on earth are echoes. To the grandest story ever told.
Crypto YouTube, how's it going? Happy August. Crypto Stud here with another banger. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoy the mix. Feeling live, feeling awesome, feeling great. Got some golfing to get in on Saturday, so looking forward to that. I hope you have wonderful plans set up for this weekend. Welcome to the crypto universe, where possibilities sparkle like stars. With the belief that God is great, God is good, we embark on this exciting journey through blockchain and cryptocurrency. Carry hope and positivity as we navigate this dynamic world together. Whether in sunlight or seeking a beacon at night, may your heart be filled with peace, love, and the promise of prosperity. Join me on my channel as we unlock crypto mysteries with curiosity and bold hearts. Here's to success, understanding, and a touch of magic on our path. May your day shine bright, your spirit be light, and your investments flourish. Now, let's dive into today's crypto venture. I feel so bad talking over Morgan Freeman, you know? Like, he's got a voice, you know? Can't deny that. It's great to hear it. Such a lovely voice. I thought this would be such a great song for that. Very uplifting song. So, what a wild couple days on the market. I do want to go over that briefly as well. And just, you know, bring you some love. I did want to go over a few housekeeping items before we did begin. a few people in the group I've kind of spoke about doing bot trading, having bot trading a thing. It's probably going to be something that we get towards the end of quarter 4. I have a few people who are working on it right now, and I do want to get invested in that as well. But I also want to have these updates for these indicators 100% good to go, so that, you know, what other updates that come in the future are more of just maintenance ones. I still have a lot more things I want to add to these, and I know, you know, adding too much stuff gets kind of jam-packed and full, but the good thing is, like, anything I have in these scripts, anything in these indicators I have, you can turn on and off. So if there's something you don't specifically want or need, you can turn it off, which I think is great. And then when you do turn it off, it stops, you know, the loading time for that particular thing. So it's somewhat, you know, it's got goods and bads. Sometimes it's better to have more than not, right? So, and I always do want to improve these scripts with whatever I can do, you know, like if there's anything dramatically I can change UI wise, or just improvement on how it processes and loads, I want to do that, you know. So I do want to give another big shout out to all the subscribers and likes and comments. I appreciate it. I love it. I hope you guys do like my new videos that I'm doing on the side as well. They're like, it's kind of like my voice in it, and then just like this random video that I have in the background with some of my words and stuff. And I hope you do appreciate those. I kind of wanted it to be a little more serious, on the serious note, outside of me doing all the funny shorts and stuff that I normally do. I am going to continue doing the funny shorts and stuff, of course, because I love good humor. Who doesn't, right? But I also do want to put some professionalness into my channel as well, and kind of, you know, make positivity with a more professional aspect when it comes to trading, right? There is some happy moments, and there's also some sad moments. There's also mad, you know, your angry moments, frustrated moments. You know, there's a lot of psychology when it comes to trading, and I do kind of want to hit both the chord of humor and funny, and also the chord of just being professional when trading. And at the same time, you know, I try to keep my videos professional, in a professional format for y'all. Besides the lighthearted, you know, the lightheartedness I have in the beginning, I kind of do want to make that funny and comical to just kind of get you set and get your tone ready for what I'm providing you content wise. But I do want to say that I am going to be running a super big promotion for the 30,000 subs. So stay tuned for that, as I will present that as soon as I hit 30,000 subs. I will be presenting that, and it's going to be something huge. I haven't been around very long, and it's going to be something that I will only do once, and once only. So if you've been on the defense of joining the group, or just being somewhat in the group, whether it be just being there for free, or, you know, a course, or the indicator, or whatever, the whole full membership, whatever it is, I want to provide good content for you and let you succeed in trading as well. The journey is very tough. I feel like the course and the indicator and the group that I offer is worth any amount of money ever. But at the end of the day, I don't want to give it away for free, because giving something away for free kind of muddies the water. You know, you don't put your best foot forward, and I want the best foot forward for you and for me and for the group, right? You have to present yourself every day, day in, day out when you're in that group, and you know, you're in a professional setting, so I want you to be that. Granted, we're not on the floor trading, but you know, there still needs to be a professional setting to it, and have a professional, you know, behavior to that. So there will be a big promotion for the 30K subs. Nothing I've done before, nothing I'll do ever again. It's just a very kind gesture, and a thank you from the bottom of my heart. But yeah, outside that, we had a pretty wild day. So I am going to get us into some, we're going to do very little news articles, but I do want to go over the Forex news today. We had a couple events, big news events today that I do want to go over, and some news articles related to those events, which are kind of critical and kind of might position us where our next trade is. If you guys followed my last video, we hit our area to the T. You know, minus a couple percentage, right? I'm not going to be 100% accurate. Nobody is. If somebody is, please bring them to me, and they can take all my money. But no. Joking aside, we did get pretty darn close. We were teetering over in this area, and I really was looking for this area, and we've hit it. We got a pretty good reaction here, and I am going to go over it more in my video. I haven't added more to my long. I did take a scalp short the day before yesterday. Well, technically yesterday, but in realms of Bitcoin, the day before yesterday, right? So yeah, Wednesday. Technically, today is now Friday in terms of Bitcoin, even though it's not quite Friday yet on the Eastern time coast here. So, but anyway, so. We're going to go through that a little bit more. We did have a nice bounce on this as well. But we're just going to have to digest it and see what more we get from this. If there's really more of a move up, or if we can possibly test back lower. So we'll go over that. But I do want to get into the reports. So we'll jump into the reports here, and then we'll go from there. All right. All right, so I'm going to try to make this video quick, but there's a lot of news articles to go over, a lot of events that happened today. First one being that there was some fresh data that came in over fears of possible recession and the notion that Federal Reserve might have been too late to cut interest rates. The initial jobless claims rose the most since August 2023. The ISM Manufacturing Index, a barometer of factory activity in the U.S., came in at 46.8, worse than expected, which is ironic because it wasn't as... I mean, in the past I've seen this, and it's been worse than this, but this is... I guess the expectation was supposed to be around 48... Let's see, 48.5, and it came in 46.8, and that's a pretty large jump in terms of that. It might not seem like that, but when you look at that number like that's a pretty large jump. And they released that early this morning, and the market kind of just took a dive on that news. So that is something to be kind of weary of. This is that fear of us going into recession. I've spoke about it before a few months back. I'm really going to have to deep dive into some of my older videos and find that it's tough, you know, but at the end of the day, if you look at S&P on the weekly, if you look at Bitcoin on the weekly, if you look at the Dow on the weekly, NASDAQ on the weekly, I mean, we've had a run. And I hate to be bearer of bad news, but the bull run might be finishing. And I hate to break that news to everybody. It's a sad thing. It's sad. But the good thing about this is that there's possibilities to buy things lower. I don't want anybody to panic. Don't ever be fearful. It's always great when things go down, when prices go down. You know, as long as you're not leveraging the house times 100, and you can still survive and provide for whoever it may be, things do get better. You know, markets do rotate and markets do change, and that's just that's what's so great about trading, and that's what's so great about the stock market, and that's what's so great about trading crypto and such. There's always cycles, there's always rallies. You know, what goes up must come down, right? And there's always a potential for you to make good money on the next ride up. So always know that, you know, there's always a better day when things do start to hit the fan and things start to get really bad. But I can't be completely 100% doom and gloom yet. There's no indication of that, you know, outside of a couple of you know, reports that came out saying that things aren't looking so good, which, yeah, you have to take that in consideration. You have to look at that and digest it and just see how markets tend to go. Let's see how August is. You know, we've had some great runs. We've had some great falls. We've had very volatile weeks, and it's been great for trading. So at the end of the day, in order to be a good trader, you know, you can change and rotate to whatever is going on in the markets, whether that be a bull market or a bearish market. So that is my food for thought thing for the day. And we're just going to get into these reports real quick. So July job forecasted 185,000 new jobs and 4.1% unemployment, but it could be worse. Labor market appears to be getting weaker. Rough to see that. Oil ends lower a day after Middle East tensions led to the biggest rally in months. Now, I think going into recession does bring some good opportunities for a higher dollar. So that could be a good alternative. The strength in the dollar increasing helps in some ways when you're going to the store or when you're buying gas or whatever it may be. Remember how the dollar moves and strengthens helps you when you're buying every day, living everyday things. So sometimes, a recession's needed. I feel like if we were to have one, I would want it to happen quick and be done and over with, more so than just dragging on for years on end. Just kind of rip the band-aid and move on. So Shake Shack stock rallies despite market swoon as profit jumps. I don't know who's eating Shake Shack. I'm not eating Shake Shack. So if you're eating Shake Shack, please comment in the video. I would like to know, because I don't know anybody who eats here, and I'm not quite sure why their stock is doing well. So if somebody could let me know, that would be I would appreciate that. Let's see. Mortgage rates fall to 5-month low as Fed signals possible September cut. Yeah, it might be too late, but that would be great to see a September cut. And I also did make a mistake in my last video. I did say rate hikes is bullish. There's kind of this thing, I'm probably going to do a separate video because it's kind of a long conversation to have, but in the past when we've had rate cuts, there's been an initial bullish sentiment and a kind of like a pop and a couple good weeks of a nice run before there's an actual pullback. And we normally have the rate cuts coming during a bear market cycle. So that is kind of a video I'm going to do maybe Sunday, kind of just like a little, cut out of that and just kind of discuss that, and maybe not too much of the charts, but just that, and kind of do like a little extra tidbit on it, and just kind of see like what history's done and how it could possibly repeat or not repeat with the rate cuts coming. So it's always great to look at things in the past and see how things panned out back then to how they pan out now. It's always great to just have that thoughts process of what was once happened in the past to what has happened now, right? Tongue twister. Crypto lender Leden handed out 1.16 billion worth of loans in first half of 2024. Great for them. I'll take $1 billion loan. Galaxy Digital second quarter net loss widens as crypto market retreats. Yeah, you're not gonna. A lot of people aren't gonna be happy with this next article that I wrote up, but that I got up. The loss is almost 4 times as wide as the corresponding quarter a year ago. Yeah, it's tough. If you've been buying the last 3 months, you're not really too much into profits, or if you are into profits, it's very little. This has been a really tight, weird. Not really. It hasn't been weird. It's been a very lucrative range for us to trade in, and it's just surprising to see us be in this range so long. But it's been nice to trade, and we've been killing it since day one. We're going to continue killing it, but I'm getting kind of impatient of us staying in this range. Although at the end of the day, you still make money regardless where and what Bitcoin's doing. So sometimes it's easier to trade it, and right now it's probably the easiest time to trade it, if that's a word, if easierest is a word. So than other times. MicroStrategy reports quarter 2 loss. Bitcoin holding rise to 226,500. Yeah. This guy had so much time to just buy it under 20,000. Like, he had months and years and months and years to just buy it under 20,000, and here we are. He's buying at the top. I mean, he's worse than most retail traders. right? Like, why? You're a hedge fund investor. How are you buying practically the top? I really want to know what their average is. Wow, that's a huge jump. Oh man, that's a big jump right there. 180.1 million versus 24 million. Jeez. I don't, let's see, Bitcoin average of 36,000 at the current price, 63. These assets are worth 14. I guess it doesn't say his average, their average though. Tough. Still that's kind of high. I mean, right now it's okay. We're at 64,000. It's all right right now, but seems just a tad bit high for you to purchase that when you could have purchased, you had plenty of time to purchase under that. Food for thought there. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the charts. We're gonna refresh this, kind of check out what Bitcoin's doing real quick. See if we have anything pretty here. Just kind of checking this, glancing at this real quick before we get into the video. So we do have a Dalton today, which looks to be almost done playing out. Previous day value area high is being resistance right now, so that's looking it's looking pretty good. I mean, if we'll have to see what kind of reaction we get here to really see what the direction is going to be next, but it's not looking. It's tough. It's not looking great. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It's not looking great though. But I do want to look at the dollar first. The dollar has been kind of running today. I've been watching it throughout the day today, and it's just kind of had a run. Like, look at this, man. So let's dive into this and see what we can find. The weekly. So I did speak about this area right here. If we started getting up back in this area, I'd be kind of bullish on it again. It's kind of playing in this area that I spoke about in a couple of videos previously and kind of found support there. So good to see that happening. It's kind of wedged in between here now. But outside of that, the weekly still looking pretty bearish on that. Let's see the daily. This area kind of piques my interest right here. Daily still looking pretty darn good for a rise up still. Let's see, 12 hours starting to turn up for a rise up. Oof, 8 hours just looking strong right now. Yeah, 8 hours starting to come up. Dollar's just looking really strong. Oh, 6 hours looking great too. Not good for Bitcoin. Oh boy. Yeah, I think we'll see some 60,000 price here shortly. 2 hours kind of overexhausted a little bit, bearish, but overall the trend is up. I'm thinking dollar still goes up, still has got room to go up. So just be cautious if you're looking for long plays with the strength of the dollar going right now. It's not best. Look at S&P real quick. S&P had oh wow. So pretty much everything we gained yesterday, we lost today. Yeah, well, I guess the last 2 days, because Tuesday we had a kind of a bad day. Found support. This order block is key. It's just like clutch, like this area right here. Oh, clutch. What a run. See, this is the thing that I don't like seeing when it kind of transitions to a bull market where price is getting front ran in these resistant spot order blocks that we have. The same concept could have said for Bitcoin. We had gotten front ran on that as well, and I spoke about that in my last video. It doesn't bode well seeing that. That just means that there's not a lot of strength in the market, and it's concerning. It's very concerning. You see how like here we kind of get front ran on that dailies, kind of mimics what S&P did on a 2 hour. Granted, it's a 2 hour to a day. So the day being front ran would be more of an indication of a weaker market. It's tough to see that being front ran like that, because normally, you know how we got these moves up here, some strength, almost pretty much practically swung fill this area, had some really good strength there, had some good strength on this one, and then just to get front ran like that and absolutely destroyed in a matter of a couple days, it doesn't really bode very well for a bullish posture on Bitcoin. and the dollar strengthening like it has. S&P is kind of holding on for dear life on the 2-hour order block. I can't be super bullish on Bitcoin right now until we start getting some higher time frame closes, which is sad to say, because I do really want Bitcoin to do well. But at the same time, as a trader, you trade what's in front of you, and I'm not seeing the best outcome for Bitcoin right now. Unless we would really need to break that low or that high right now, 65,000, 65.5 or so, before I started turning more of a bullish bias again. Another thing I kind of noticed, the weekly starting to turn over finally now. That's not looking good for S&P. We're sitting on this 1-day order block as well. It's an order block for the 1 day as well. So not the best. The daily is starting to turn a little bullish, so it's almost practically played out this whole entire bearish divergence play with juxtapost coming down on it. So this is starting to get a little healthy, and we are sitting on that daily order block. 12 hours still looking pretty healthy, but we are starting to turn over. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a critical area. If we don't hold this, the 8 hours still looking pretty good. 6 hours starting to turn over. 4 hours starting to look really bad. Volatility looks like volatility has pretty much exhausted here, so this could be a good bounce zone area for us, at least a temporary bounce. Yeah, this is kind of exhausted as well on the 2 hour. See, we have all these green bars right here. It's practically saying it's screaming buy. So in the the shorter time frame of S&P, I am leaning a bit bullish, just because we're sitting on this massive order block right here, and most of the lower time frames are showing a bullish posture for it. So I don't see a reason why we can't at least have another test up in this area. Maybe we get back to the weekly P. Would be kind of a nice area to see how we react there if we do get there. On the larger time frames, though, I still lean a bit bearish on S&P. I just don't really see reason with the weekly just turning over like this. The daily's just starting to get like that as well. I mean, the daily, it's looking pretty darn good, but with these other time frames, kind of. I mean, the daily is pretty much holding us up right now, so we would need to get some move up for this weekly to kind of flatline. But starting to see this weekly turn out. Now, the weekly is going to take a little bit of time, right, to play out, but it's kind of food for thought to think, to just kind of keep in mind that the weekly is starting to turn bearish on us. So temporary, I am bullish on it. That might change when I do my next update, but for right now, I don't see reason why we can't have another run up here, like a pullback back up to the upside, just a tad bit. We are sitting on this order block, triple bottom. It looks somewhat healthy. Let's see if we're up today on S&P. We're down 30 points again today on S&P. Yeah, yikes. That's rough. That's not going to bode super well for Bitcoin, although this could be the time when Bitcoin finally, catches up with S&P. But yeah, so temporary, I'm bullish on S&P. The larger time frame, I'm kind of switching to a bearish aspect to it. I would like to see the 12-hour and daily kind of line up a bit better. But we're due for a pullback back up in this area, maybe back to the weekly P at least. I think we're due for a bounce of some sort, unless some report comes out tomorrow that just kind of obliterates our dreams. I don't see a reason why we can't go up higher for it, at least in the short term. All right, the one everybody's been waiting for. So in my last video, I did update everybody saying that this area right here would be kind of, we got this move down. I remember drawing this down here, moving down here. We found a little bit of support in this area, and then we kind of just nuked it right into this zone that I was kind of looking at. So I have a couple issues with this actually continuing. The first reason being that the dollar has gotten some strength. The dollar can move higher. That kind of throws in some weakness into Bitcoin in itself. Well, let's go on these time frames and see if there's anything that really screams for us to go higher. The weekly is really, it's starting to look really nice. I'm loving this. And this is like this is pretty much about all the hope I have left for Bitcoin to do something outside of what it's done already. Seeing the weekly get strong like that is a good indication that we go higher. Now, if you do recall, the weekly is a very strong indicator. It's a very strong time frame to use. But the thing with the weekly is it takes forever to set up. It takes forever to actually have a trade with it. The trade will take months, weeks, months on end to actually set up and complete and actually, do what it needs to do. So with that regard, at any moment, this can turn around and just completely nuke. We kind of had some hope in this area as well. I spoke about that in my previous videos when we were in this area, that like there is some hope for this to go higher. And as you can see, we kind of just faked out and said nope and went lower. So the same concept kind of applies here. It could be the same thing, but the thing I would like to see is us getting some candle closers up here, like actually making some moves back up to the top here so that this can point up and actually turn and really get some movement going in the right direction. Hold on just a second, let me get some water. Okay, I'm back. I turned the mic on and it didn't turn on right away. Anyways, so from a weekly standpoint, I would really like to see this, get some more candle closures up more so this area so that this could fully turn and kind of have like a nice green point up. Would be more better indication for me to say that we go higher and we possibly break all-time high. Now, that is a bullish case to that. The daily, on the other hand, is saying no. It's looking absolutely miserable. It's looking terrible. It's like that night you went to the club and you puked all over the table, all over the chairs. I know, you did it. I was there. I saw you. It just does not look good. It's not a good look for you, and everybody knows. And I think we're at that point with Bitcoin here on the daily. It went to the club, it had too much of a good time, and now it's just hungover as heck, right? Same concept applies. We are pointing down. There's no real indication that we are making a move up higher from a daily standpoint. The daily will take a bit of time to play out, but also, taking consideration that we range in this area right here, we could possibly reset this easily. Could reset this back to the neutral zone right here, turn this sucker back up, and then go to the moon, right? That is the bull case right now, but for the time being, I'm leaning a bit bearish on this, and I don't see reason to change my position on being bearish on the daily. When it comes to the 12-hour, same concept. I'm looking pretty bearish on that as well. This is still pointing down. There's no reason to turn bullish. There's no reason for that. Take in mind that the dollar is strong right now, so that is consideration as well to a bearish posture. The 8-hour is starting to form for us. It's not quite complete. There's still some room for it to go a tad bit lower. I wouldn't mind it getting down here in this area. If you guys see, the last time we had that in that area, it was beautiful play. Such a beautiful play. A lot of you recalled the position I'm in now was actually from that area. It's a beautiful play. I do want to add a bit more to it. But the recession talk is putting a bit of a buzzkill in it. So there will be a point where I just cut it and say, and take what I've gotten. At one point it was 350,000. Now I'm at 240,000. At some point there's a time when it's just, you got to part ways with what you got and be happy with it. I don't recommend holding on to good trades like that forever. I've been doing this for quite a while. I initially put that position in so I could hedge it on the other side. Didn't quite get the hedge that I wanted. I was out of town, partially, my own fault. not getting into a position on the other side to kind of handle the other way down, which has kind of put me into a position where I only have really one position outside of a couple scalp shorts that I've taken, but that's okay. We're gonna just see how things go with the market, and then we'll position ourselves however we need to, whether that is closing the position, waiting for something lower, or adding to the position, looking for higher once we find a good area to add. I like the reaction we have in this area right here that we've gotten. I would really like to see 60,000 for us to just kind of complete this downward movement. In short terms of things, we did create a higher high, but we also created a lower low. So it's tough. It's tough to see a chart like this on an 8-hour like that, right? It doesn't scream bullish to me, unfortunately. But as I said, we'll stick to the plan. We'll see how this kind of reacts. If we can get some consolidation right here, that will reset the higher time frames and kind of point them higher. That will reset the 8-hour, give us some good movement on the 8-hour to go higher. Now let's drop down to the 6-hour. See what we got. 6 hours looking pretty darn good. Actually, we had a bullish divergence that confirmed on the large candle down. So you could have taken that, seeing that. Let's say you took it from S1. Took that up to here as 4% profit right there. That's pretty great. I actually did take a long on that bottom right there, and I posted it in here from earlier. Nothing crazy, just a little scalp on BloFin. Starting to like the exchange. I'm getting comfortable with it, so it's always good to see that. But we did have that bullish divergence in there. Kind of had a nice play out with that. Let's see the 4-hour. 4-hour starting to turn over as well. So these lower time frames are indicating that we have kind of found a bottom, which is good. Which is good news for the bull side of things. So for me personally, how I'm thinking this right now, this one's a little tricky. Okay, you have tricky ones. Tricky ones do happen. It's the end of the week. The pivot's already been hit, so we don't really have anything on the pivot side to really go after. Right. Let's see. I'm trying to find the pivot. Where did the pivot go? It just decided to hide, huh? S1, S2. I guess we're so far from the pivot that it's hiding from us. Let me pop it open higher. I guess it reset. Let's put 15. I need to modify this because it's been annoying me lately. Price has just been moving so much. You got to remember, most of the time that I wrote all this code up was during a bear market. So you had like 1,000 price point swing per day, and like you're good to go. 3% move price is great. All these indicators still show, but when we're getting 5-10% moves per day now, it does make it a bit more difficult keeping these on the screen. But so would you look at that? We tagged the weekly P, rejected right from the weekly P. If you remember before, I've spoke about the weekly P quite a bit. I didn't quite take profits on the weekly P, 65.4. I took profits a bit below the week. I think it was this rejection right here, and then kind of fell through that I took profits on that trade. But we did have a nice rejection from the weekly P. I was gonna say we could target the weekly P, but we already pretty much bounced and hit the weekly P. So that was a great move to see that happen. The 2-hour also had the bottom out signal on juxtaposed for us as well, which would have been a great trade setup as well. And then the 1-hour kind of gave us a bearish divergence. If you take a look at this from here. That's a straight line. Just pretend like it's a straight line. Pretend like that's a straight line. We had a bearish divergence or bullish divergence there, and kind of had a nice bounce from that as well. Could have played that too. And it was a fib level 0.5 or 50% retracement level, fib level of the height of the low. So it was a pretty darn good trade. And then you could have targeted the weekly P in this case and done pretty well. So Well, I guess that's, what is that? Which one's this? This is a different P. No? Did it change on me? Let's see, let's go to the hour. Losing my mind, the weekly P changed. What the heck? It changed. Oh, it didn't update all the way. Well, okay, so, alright, that's even better. So we can still target the weekly P here. It hasn't been touched yet. I don't know why it did that. That's weird. It's been doing that a lot recently. So yeah, there's the weekly P. Interesting. And I'm pretty sure that's the right spot. Let me just refresh this real quick. Yeah, okay. Okay, so the weekly piece still possibly in play, which is great. That's awesome. So I would like to see us kind of get back up to the weekly P and see how that happens, and see if there's any juice once we get to this area. But this is tough. We did bounce on previous day value area at low, which would have been a pretty good play for a position. But you know, it doesn't really scream super bullish for me. Check out high block. I mean, it's screaming more bullish than when we were at 66K. Wow, we still got a lot of shorts. A lot of shorts still open. Dang. Maybe I'm maybe I should rephrase. You know, in the back of my head, I'm just thinking the dollar, and that's what's kind of like, it's kind of messing with me with like how I kind of want to attack this, right? On one hand, the lower time frames are looking really good. They're looking very bullish. You have a lot of shorts still on the market right here. This can move price up higher. Let's check XO, see how healthy that is. So the only downfall with XO is that price rose while open interest dropped. So I'm not a fan of that. It's mostly, oh man, that does not look pretty. It's mostly shorts closing, rose price. And in the past, when shorts are closing and price rises, it normally reverses and goes back down. So that is tough. This is a tough trade. There's a lot of different, there's a lot of things going on and not surefire way with how to go about it. So when I have moments like this where, you know, there's signals on both sides of it, I kind of take a look at how the shorts are looking. In this case, the shorts are higher. So I still feel like we can squeeze out more shorts before we actually squeeze out more longs, right? But then you have to consider that price has rose, open interest has gone down. That is a bearish move. Practically, you know, price will reverse back down, and then maybe we'll finally get some longs into the market and push price back up. But as I've said in other videos, you know, for a healthy market, you kind of want to see these longs coming in. You want building blocks of longs coming into the market to hold the market up. And when that doesn't happen, there's not much strength in the market. It always reverses. Now, does it reverse today? Possibly not. Does it reverse tomorrow? Yes, more so. Stock market opens back up. We could have a drop back down to the lows, and then continue the red candle day. But you also have to take in consideration what you see on these lower time frames. These lower time frames are still pointing up. They haven't changed yet. So you need to have somewhat of a bullish posture for the time being on a lower time frame. Now, that being said, I would kind of like to see us get to the weekly P, see how this does here, and then possibly have a healthy rejection here in this area. Kind of have a healthy rejection in this area. That would be kind of a resistance level possibly, and see where we go from there. This is like one of those things where you kind of just have to see what price does, and you know, you look at the lower time frame, see that they look a bit more bullish, but you take in consideration that the dollar is still bearish. I mean bullish. The dollar is still looking bullish, and that will weigh down on what Bitcoin does. But we've been dropping for a few days now. So, you know, into the weekend, I don't see reason why we can't have a nice little rally. The 12 hour and the day are really putting some bad pressure though, and the 8 hours putting some bad pressure on it. So pretty much any rise that we do get is a for sure short. So I would see how the pivot does here and see what type of reaction we get with the weekly P right here. Ironically, it would have been nice if it was here, like I was speaking about earlier in this video. Of course, the indicator updates, the weekly piece here, and I think that's a reasonable area to possibly to work our way back into. So on the lower time frames, I am in a bullish posture right now. I do believe that we have a possibility to go higher. On the other the other part of this, on the higher time frames, I am still bearish. I don't think we have any all-time highs anytime soon. I think we have to go a bit lower before we get there. So let's see how this reacts here first, see what type of reaction we get in this area, and then go from there. We do have a Dalton possible today still. We kind of had some candle closures inside here, so there's a possibility we do get back down to previous day value area low. This is a tough one, I must say. Sometimes there will be trades that are a bit tougher and they're harder to kind of tell you what your thought process is on it. And this is going to be one of those where, you know, I'm going to take what I know and how I analyze the markets and put that to a real test, right? So right now, you know, near term, I am bullish, but the larger time frame, I am still leaning bearish right now until the day and 12-hour resets. I would like these to reset, get just a bit lower before I could really start to have a bullish posture. Let the 8-hour come down a bit more, and then I would really be on to another race to the highs. But in the meantime, I am looking for somewhat of a pullback. The 67,000 might be too much. I mean, that's another 2,000 price point. So, you know, maybe we get another test of the high here and then swing fail it. That could be a possibility as well. You know, this getting up to the weekly P again is going to be a tall task for Bitcoin. But, you know, there's crazier things I've seen from Bitcoin do. So I am not going to do a random indicator tonight because this video has gone over for quite a bit. I hope this has been good content for you. I hope you're enjoying the videos. I hope you learn every time you tune in. I hope you're learning something from me or making good decisions when you're taking trades. And, you know, I love doing this. I do it day in, day out. I love it. I eat it. I sleep it. I do everything for it. Like I bleed it, you know, and in order to be a good trader, you have to do that. It has to be day in, day out, 24/7. You could take a couple hours off during the weekend, go play some golf, right? Anyways, that's it for me, guys and girls. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I hope it was entertaining and educational, and I hope you learned something from it. So please do like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later.
Somewhere, so you know I care, but it's so cold and I don't know where. I bought you daffodils on a pretty string, but they won't flower like they did last spring. And I wanna kiss you, make you feel alright. I'm just so tired to share my nights. I wanna cry and I wanna love, but all my tears have been used up on another love, another love. All my tears have been used up on another love, another love. All my tears have been used up on another love, another love. All my tears
you somewhere, so you know I care. But it's cold out there, and I don't know where. And my hands been broken one too many times. But if somebody hurt you, it's a motherfucking fight. Let's go. Believe I'm gon' fight, it's a motherfucking right. On my team. On my team. It's a motherfucking fight. And if somebody hurts you, I wanna fight. But my hand's been broken one too many times. So I'll use my voice, I'll be so fucking rude. Words they always win, but I know I lose. And I sing a song that a beat just stops, but I sing them all to another heart.